Read.
Lesson number 5. Death gives life meaning.
Okay. What is afterward?
The purpose of death is to make us bigger than our selfish pursuits.
Spiritual love affair is the greatest love affair of all. You need to be very silent, receptive, open. Then only something real can happen. It is not like your college lectures. Is it clear?
Yes, clear, Swami.
So be relaxed.
Okay.
So what he is saying, death gives life meaning or this is really significant. If there was no death, then you would have been totally lost in all kind of idiotic, stupid below the dignity of human being pursuits. Even when the death is there, everyone knows deep down, deep inside, that you are going to die. There is a story in Mahabharata. The 5 Pandavas' brothers were very thirsty. They were lost in the forest. So Yudhishthira, who was the eldest of all these brothers, he sent the youngest Sahadev to fetch water from nearby lake. So when he went to fetch water, the god of that lake, Yaksh, he said that before you drink the water, this is my lake, you will have to answer some questions. Only then you will be allowed to drink. Otherwise you will die drinking the water. But Sahadev was very egoistic. He thought, I am a Kshatriya, a man of Sahadev thought that I am a Kshatriya, a warrior, who can harm me? So instead of answering the question of Yaksh, he drank the water and died. So when it was getting late, Yudhishthir sent his second brother, Nakul, second youngest. So he was also asked the same thing and he also didn't listen. He also went and drank the water and died. In the same way, he sent all his other brother, Arjun and Bhim. They were even stronger, more powerful, so more egoistic. So they also didn't care to answer the question. They all died. And finally, Yudhishthir went himself. He saw all his 4 brothers dead there near the lake. So he also thought, let me first drink the water, then I will do something. He was so thirsty. Then he heard the voice, very strong voice from the sky. This is my lake. First answer my question. Only then you can drink. Otherwise you will be dead like all your brothers. So Yudhishthir was a wise man. He said, okay, you ask me question. And he went on asking question after question. Yudhishthir answered everything. Then he asked one question, that what is the greatest surprise in this world? What is the most wonderful thing in this world? Yudhishthir said that people see that there are so many people have died and people are dying every day. But everyone believes inside that I will be the exception. I will not die. This is our common unconscious, careless attitude, that we go on avoiding death. We want to escape from death. And I feel there is even greater surprise, which scientists have achieved. They believe in the objective world, that the world outside is true. Not all the scientists. Now scientists are getting confused. They are finding theories like quantum theories and theories of uncertainty. But most of the scientists, because they have a tunnel vision, so they believe in this world, the objects, the matter is real. But one who is studying this world, one who is the knower, one who is experiencing everything, scientist himself, the one who is doing all the experiment, he is denying that. This is how the great philosopher and mathematician Descartes also said, cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. This is also not true. Before you think, you need to be here. If the consciousness is not present, you cannot think. So prior to everything else, consciousness is needed. It is this very substratum, the very basis, the most fundamental thing. So if there was no death, that is what Tolstoy is saying, death gives meaning to the life. If there was no death, we would have been lost in all kind of foolish pursuits, all kind of sense gratification, indulgence, wine and woman, eat, drink and be merry. Food, fart and fuck. We would have been lost in these things. Just like any pig, like someone has said that it is better to be Socrates dissatisfied than to be a fool satisfied. It is better to be a man dissatisfied than to be a pig satisfied. A pig is very satisfied eating shit. So, if there was no death, then it would have been almost impossible to awaken. Rarely any man could have awakened, very sharp one. Even when death is coming, death can happen any moment. The moment you are born, you are a fit candidate to die. But we are hoping, all the time we are hoping that we will be exceptional. We will kill death by our money. we will be victorious over death through scientific discoveries. But what is the point of repeating the same thing again and again and again? This repetitive circle, this vicious circle. This is no life. So if there was no death, then we could not have tried to find anything higher than that. So when the death is there, then those who are intelligent, those who are little awake, they try to find out. Is there anything beyond life and death? Is there anything which can transcend death, which can remain even after our physical death? Is there anything within us which is not born? Anything that is born will die. Is there anything which is not born, so it will not die? So then the search is possible. If death was not there, then we can go on running after money, after sex, after women, after food for eternity. And even when death is there, people go on committing so many crimes. If death was not there, then what these people who are just complete brutes, what they would have done, you cannot even imagine. Because death is there, because they know that they can die, other can also kill them. So somehow they are keeping themselves in control. But as they become stronger, as they have more money, more power, then they start behaving like devils, like demons. But what they are doing with their money, with their power, they are doing all insignificant thing, all meaningless thing. So, if death was not there, then we could not have created all these wonderful art, painting, music, sculpture, and meditation would not have happened. It is because of death that people turn in. They try to find out whether there is any center to them or not, whether there is something within them which is not in the clutches, in the grip of death, which death cannot touch, which fire cannot burn, which water cannot wet. If we are only just matter, then we are going to die certainly. But if there is something in us which is beyond matter, then that will not die. But even if scientists go on recycling us, what is the point? There is another ancient story about Yayati, a very great king. He lived for 100 years and he had about 100 children. So this is a story, this is poetic, metaphorical. So death came to him when he was 100 years old. And death said, now your time is over, I have come to take you with me. The king said that I have just started indulging, just started enjoying pleasure, and you have come. You have come too early. So the dad said that I cannot return back empty-handed. If any of your child is ready, then I can take him instead of you. Yayati said, okay, I will ask them. They must become ready because I have done so much for them. So he started asking first the eldest one. The eldest one has become very cunning, clever. He said that when my father is not ready to die, so that means there is something in life. Why should I die? He refused. He said, you ask someone, some other of your children. In this way, he went on asking. No one was ready. They said that you have lived more than us. You should go. Why you are asking us to go? We have lived less than you. But the youngest was just 15, 16. He said, I am ready to go. Even the god of death, Yamraj, he became compassionate, which is not easy for god of death. But he said, what you are doing? You are being very foolish. When your father is not ready to die, all your elder brothers are not ready to die. Why you want to go? You keep shut up. He said that I have understood a thing. If after living for 100 years and all my brothers there, some of them are 80, some 70, 75. If their desire, if their lust is not fulfilled, it is clear to me that it is never going to be quenched. It is like putting ghee in the fire. The more you indulge, the more the desire will burn stronger. So if their desires are not yet finished, then it is not going to be finished. I am ready to go. So Yamraj took him. So in this way, Yamraj has to come 10 times. Some of his son was ready then to go with Yamraj. So when he became 1,000-year-old Yayati, then Yamraj came again. He said, now I am ready to go. I have understood that this desire, this lust is unfulfillable. You may do anything, but it is never going to be quenched. So now there is no point. I have lived enough. I have understood the whole game. I am ready to go now. So if you are an intelligent person, then death is the greatest blessing in the life. It will give life meaning. It will make your life significant. If death was not there, then there would have been no urgency, no desire. If there would have been no desire to go deeper into life, to find it deeper meaning, to dig deep. Otherwise, we would have been swimming on the surface only. We could not have created anything. If death was not there, then even all these scientific discoveries would not have happened. They are also, all these things they have discovered is just to avoid death, just to escape from death. All our medicines, all our comforts in life, all our pursuit to make life longer, we are trying to find something to become immortal. Even if you are able to make your body physically immortal, you will become tremendously bored. If the light is not there, if your inner being is in darkness, and you have all the comforts outside, how long you can enjoy it? After some time, everything will become repetitive. So it is because of death meaning can be created in life, but that also can be created only by those who are very alert, who are very awake. And if our life was very long, 1000 years, 2000 years, then it would have been very lukewarm. There would have been no intensity. What Rosa Luxemburg said, burn the torch of your life from both the ends. When it is short, when it is fleeting, then only there is a possibility to live very intensely. And if you live intensely, then only you can discover your very center. If you are lukewarm, then you will be lost in unnecessary stupid things. So only because of death, meaning is possible in life. Creativity is possible in life. And this search for your inner being is possible. This burning desire, this quest to know yourself is possible. That's why Socrates said, know thyself first. Because death is coming, death can come any moment. Don't waste your time, your life in idiotic things. What is the second line?
The purpose of death is to make us bigger than our selfish pursuits.
I would have said the purpose of death is to make us bigger than our stupid pursuits. Because the word, if you translate the word selfish, in Hindi it becomes swarthi. And that is a very beautiful word. Swa means you or I. Arth means meaning. Swarthi means one who is trying to find his inner meaning. Trying to find himself, the meaning of himself, or meaning of the self. And even if you use the English word selfish, I don't think these people are really selfish. If you are really selfish, you will try to find yourself in the name of self. You are just running after objects and things and pleasure. You are not finding yourself. You are not devoting any energy to find yourself. So this selfish pursuit is stupid. What was his line? Repeat again.
The purpose of death is to make us bigger than our selfish pursuits.
The purpose of death is to make us bigger than our stupid pursuit. Once you have found your real self, then you will become bigger. Then you will become infinite. Because your consciousness has no limitation, no boundary line. It is only your physical form which is limited, which has a boundary line. So only if you become really selfish, you will become really big. And out of that selfishness, real service can happen. Because once you have found yourself, you will realize it is the same self in everyone. There is no difference. If you are identified with the form, you are like a bubble. But if you go deep inside the bubble, you will find the ocean. The same ocean in everyone. What is the third line?
Death is there to teach us compassion.
This is true. If death was not there, then we would not have been compassionate. Because you know that everyone is going to die. So what is the point to fight, to be violent for stupid things? There was a song which you used to hear a few years back, a song from Hindi movie. Where is the time to fight when there is so little time to love? So when time is so short, it is stupidity to fight for unnecessary things. Why waste your energy? But the compassion will happen only when you have entered deep inside death. And when you have entered deep inside death, then you will find there is something which is deathless. So you have to dig deep into death to find out that which never dies and which is never born. And then you will be compassionate that people, they are earning wealth, they are earning so money, and they are running for power like mad. They are so feverish. And ultimately they are going to fall into the graveyard without creating any significance and meaning in their life. So once you are awakened, once you are conscious, then you feel compassion. Why these people are running like mad idiots? They are destroying their life and they are doing everything to destroy others people's life. They are creating hell for themselves and they are creating hell for others also. Now you read further.
Okay. When one is no longer afraid of death, that is when death itself disappears, because death is nothing but fear.
The fear of death is the fear of the unknown, because we don't know what death is. So why one should be afraid of it? Because we are so afraid of it, before death comes, we become unconscious. Out of fear. If you are ready to encounter it, maybe you will find something else hidden in it, which you have to discover. But if you become afraid, then you will become unconscious before you die, and then you will not be able to encounter it, to face it. We are fearful of anything which is unknown, because something which is unknown to us, we are not prepared for it. That's why we start trembling. But the real man of some strength, some mettle, some integrity is the man who's You will enter into death willingly. Then death will disappear. You will find something else. I was listening to a story told by Osho. Very interesting story. It is a very ancient story. So there was a very big city. Its extension was beyond horizon. It was so extended, so wide that you cannot fathom it. But yet it was so small that even your palm is enough for it. And it has big building, big skyscrapers, very tall. But they were in reality they were so tall, only the knot in the onion, that was their height, only that much. And there were millions of residents in that city. Millions and billions. Actually 70 millions. And they all gathered out of fear. They were afraid that some enemy is going to attack. But in reality, they were not in millions. There were only 3 people. And they were very strange kind of beggarly kind of people. They look like beggar. So one man he could see so far away. He could see even ants on the moon, but he could not see mountain Himalaya near him. Because he could see so far and no one else was able to see so far, so there was no argument. People believed whatever he said. And he said that the enemies are approaching. From far away I can see that they are coming. And the second man could hear celestial songs. He could hear the music, the song going on in stars. But he was deaf about things which were near. But people believed in him because they could not hear what was happening so far away. And the third man was totally naked, but he had a sword in the hand. And he said, and because the second man said that I could hear their sound, they are approaching us. Third man became very alert with the sword in his hand. He was totally naked. He said that they are coming to steal our wealth. But you see my sword, I will chop their heads with my sword. So don't be afraid. So these are the 3 men living inside each of us. And the Sanskrit word for man, for human being is Purush. Purush means one who is residing in a big city. Our body is a big city. in which at the time when Osho was speaking this story, I don't know how much scientists has calculated now, but there were 70 million cells, alive cells. So it is a very big populous city. So these three people are residing in each of us. It looks 70 million, but there is only three. These threes are infatuation. You can call it attachment. The second is lust. The Hindi word for infatuation is moh. And the Hindi word for lust is kam. And the third is lobh, greed. These are the three residing in us. But if you look even more deeper, you will find only one. They are like the Trinity. But if you look deeper into Trinity, you will find only God. Or they are like the three faces of Hindu God, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. But at the center there is only God. They are just His faces. So at the center of all these is fear. Because of the fear, we are infatuated. So that's why we want family. We are trapped in caste, creed, country, society. That's why we create, because of infatuation, because we are afraid of our loneliness. And outside we create these things, and within us, inside us, we want to experience the other. Because we feel lonely inside. So just to fulfill our loneliness, this emptiness, we want name, fame, respectability. We want to get involved in some relationship. We want sex, we want love. That is the inner side of the same infatuation, which we want to internalize, take it inside, experience it inside. And the greed is for that which we have not got, and for that which we have and we don't want to lose. That is our lobh. What we have, we don't want to lose, and what we don't have, we want to capture it. But if you see more deeper, all these things are just, you can reduce them in one word: fear. Because we are afraid of our loneliness, so we are infatuated with people. That's why we create family, society, country, caste, so that we can forget our loneliness. And we don't want to encounter this loneliness. So we have to get involved in these things: money, power, prestige, respectability, love, sex. Otherwise we are exposed of our inner emptiness. And this is and we have the fear, we don't want to lose. And the greed is also fear, that we don't want to lose that which we have. And we want to get what we don't have. So if you go deeper, then you will find only fear is there inside. Fear of losing what we have, and the fear that we may not be able to get that which we want, that which we desire. Now you read his sutra.
When one is no longer afraid of death, that is when death itself disappears, because death is nothing but fear.
So now you understood through this story that is only fear. And we have nothing to lose. We came here empty-handed. When we came, we were naked. And we will go empty-handed. Meanwhile, we are just keeping our sword, demonstrating it, making movement to fight enemies which are just imaginary. The real thing is the fear is within us. The fear is because of our infatuation, because of our lust, our greed. Because of that we have fear. We are afraid that we will lose whatever we have, and we have nothing. What we really have, we cannot lose. That is our being. Other than that, it is all imaginary. Even if they are of not much worth, they are just trivia. Unnecessarily we are afraid. So when we try to protect ourselves, we want to create all kind of protection. Then the other thinks that we must be having something. And when the people approach us, when they come near to us, then the psychological fear happens inside us that they have come to steal our wealth. Out of fear, we are projecting everything. Now read again. The same thing.
When one is no longer afraid of death, that is when death itself disappears, because death is nothing but fear.
So when you drop the fear of death, then you will be relaxed. Otherwise you become tense. Out of this fear you start trembling. And when you are relaxed, when you are not afraid of it, then you are ready to encounter it, ready to face it, then you will find the deathless hidden in the death. If you remain the witness, if you are just a watcher, then you will know that the body is dying. Body is dying means that it doesn't mean anything is dying. Body is already dead. Your pran is leaving the body, but you are just a witness. Then for the first time you will know this consciousness which has no boundary. It will be the greatest orgasmic experience. But only if you can remain relaxed. Just to understand it, I give you another example. Now, because women are everywhere afraid of that, when they are in labor pain, when the child is they're about to give birth to the child, they become so afraid that there will be pain, so they make their body very tight, and when you make it tight, then the opening becomes smaller, then the pain happens. But if you are just able to relax, if the fear is not there, then the childbirth, it is said, it is the greatest orgasmic experience when the child comes out. But you need to remain in a let go state, totally relaxed. It may be a little bit pain, but that pain will be acceptable because the pleasure will be far greater. But only if you are relaxed. If you are tense, if you are afraid, then you make yourself very tight. Then the whole becomes contracted, and then the pain will be there. So in the same way, when the death is coming, if you remain relaxed, then you will have a different experience. So when you are ready to face death, then the death disappears. You will no longer find it there. It is not there. But because of our conditioning, because of what others have told us that death is a very horrible thing, we are programmed, we are conditioned, we are hypnotized to be afraid. Otherwise, I have told you my experience. It was the most wonderful thing, the greatest possible experience. The whole body was dead, but the consciousness was infinite, just like unfathomable depth of the ocean. And it felt like as if there is some kind of divine air conditioning. But only if you remain relaxed. That is the greatest meditative experience, experiencing the experiencer, knowing the knower. So it can happen only if you are relaxed. And once you know the knack of entering into death, then you will find the deathless there. There is a movie very famous where the heroine, very famous heroine, she opened her leg, and this is regarded as one of the sexiest scenes. Opening your leg, what is so sexy about it? They are just sick people. Opening your leg, one of the most, what do you call it, erotic scenes. I think this movie was perhaps Pretty Woman.
Oh.
Who's the heroine in that?
Julia
Famous,
Roberts.
very famous.
Pretty Woman is Julia
Julia
Roberts. And Richard
Julia
Gere.
Roberts.
The guy is Richard
So if
Gere.
Julia Roberts opens her leg and shows her thing, then it becomes very sexual. What is so great about her? What it is called? What it is called? Vagina or what?
Vagina. Vagina, yes.
G-spot. They are just trying to make your mind sexual. If they are so compassionate, then Julia Roberts should open for every man. Then it would be really compassionate. What you are doing, you are just making people sick. And then they become rapists. And who is responsible? When an ordinary girl is raped in the street, these assholes are responsible. Because they are making you sexual. They are making you, they show you the food, but they keep you starving. Then all these men, starving men, they attack on the food. When they find the real food, they attack. Then some innocent person becomes the victim. But who is the real criminal? These people who create such movies and the actors who act in those movies, these are criminals. They should be behind the bar because they are responsible for so much rapes and so much sexual violence. But if you don't try to find out the root, and all those saints are also responsible who says sex is something dirty, you should become a celibate. That disease is also very Western. Celibacy, this disease. And it happens when you misunderstand things. When Buddha left his home, he was fed up of sex. He was fucked up. So he ran away from his wife. He ran away from all the women because he has overindulged. But you don't know anything. You have not eaten food, even ordinary food, and you are running away. So it will all go in your head. That's why people who become religious, they become even more perverted. Because they have not understood anything. They are just running away. They are escapist. Buddha was not escapist. What the world says he was an escapist. He was not an escapist. He has enough of it. So he was turning chapter 2. You have not even completed chapter 1. For him, chapter 1 was finished. It turned into ashes. So he could read the new chapter, which was spiritual chapter.
If you like our videos, don't forget to like, share and subscribe.